Okay, everybody, how's it going? This is Big Lair here on Jack's Private Coffee Corner. Today is October 7th. It's about 10:30 in the morning for me, October 7th. Monday morning here in Japan. Let's see. I think the title of my video is probably something like "This video will shock or surprise you." That sounds a little bit like clickbait, but I think it's an appropriate title. Why do I think that? Well, I'm going to discuss some of the results of my strategic trading in cryptocurrencies with you. And I've already shared these results with some people that I know. Some people are pretty serious investors. Other people are in cryptos just like I am. And other people have been just regular, Joes and Janes who have a 401k and they've got, their 401ks invested in the stock market. So I've spoken to, 3 different kinds of investor groups, everything from, not so serious to semi-serious to very serious people, and everyone I spoke to was very surprised at my results, and a few people even said, "Wow, that's shocking, shockingly good." So that's the reason for the title of my video. Okay. I've been coming on here for a couple weeks giving everybody my opinion on things. I'm not giving financial advice. I'm not telling you should do this or that. I'm just telling you what I think is going to happen. And in my opinion, if you, paid attention and listened to some of the things I said and actually did them, you'd come out pretty good. And it's one thing just to get on here and, give you prices and say, yeah, you should have, if a person had bought at this price, and then if the person had sold at this price when I told you about it, you'd come out pretty good. It's one thing to do that, but then it's another thing to actually be doing it yourself. There's an expression, put your money where your mouth is, right? Which means, don't just say it, but do it. So anyway, I'm not someone who is just coming out here saying, hey, you should do this or that, or I recommend this or that. I'm actually a person who's doing it. And today I'm going to share some of my recent trades. Okay, let's see. Now, I realize the things I've been telling people. I don't want to say advice. In a way, I want to say advice, but then, if you say the word advice, people take it as, oh, I should do this without thinking about it. I don't want anyone to do anything without thinking about it. I sometimes jokingly say I'm talking out of my ass. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I do not believe that, but that's how I think you should approach it in a way, because, what I'm telling you works for me in my situation. I'm an American male, right? A white guy, 51 years old. I've lived outside of America for about 22 years now. I've lived long-term in 3 different countries. So, my level of comfort on doing certain things will be much different than the rest of you, right? Just because of who I am and, where I've grown up, where I was raised in Wisconsin, by the way. And then what I've done with my life since then, my education level may have something to do with it. I've got a master's in teaching. I've got an MBA in sustainability. So, that sort of study may contribute to why I think the way I do. I don't know. So just remember that, what's working for me may not work for you. Although if you were sitting here next to me and you were doing the same things I'm doing, I do believe it would work for you, right? But I just want to give the disclaimer, because I know if I'm saying, hey, this would be a good thing or that would be a good thing, people may misinterpret the information. They may do something that I'm not doing, or they may assume I'm doing something that I'm not, and then they go and do it and it doesn't work, and they go, oh man, that bastard. He said, a person should do this. I did it and it didn't work. Well, it didn't work because you weren't doing it the way I did it, sort of thing, right? Okay. So my goal with all of this is just to help people out. There's a lot of people, I know your portfolios are down significantly from the highs of 2018 or whenever you got in. A lot of people I talk to are down 80 to 90%. And even some of the people I've dealt with in the last 6 months, you know, after having their portfolio go down 80, 90%, now it's down another 50%, you know, so it's not a good situation, right? So I'm trying to help people out who are in those situations. I've been in similar situations, and I just one day realized, hey, I don't have to be in this situation. I can improve my situation by doing a few things, and that's what I'm doing. Okay, so I just want to, you know, get that out of the way. Okay, so as I'm talking here, I'm going to try and add some slides. We'll see how that goes. I've never done that before in a video. I'll try and add some slides as I'm talking here to explain things. And hopefully I'll explain it well enough. You won't need the slides, but I think the slides may be of assistance. And I'm going to talk about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 scenarios, 4 investing scenarios. 4 investing scenarios. These were carried out by myself. Well, 3 of these were carried out by myself, and 1 was carried out by my friend. And I just want to go through these with you because I think it's interesting, and the people I've shown this to or talked to about it were surprised, to say the least, and some of them were shocked. Okay, so here goes number 1, scenario number 1. So I had some Litecoin. Now I'm not going to give you specific numbers of how many coins I had and this and that, because it's kind of private information, right? I'm going to give you enough information, I believe, that you can realize, oh yeah, this really happened, but I don't feel the need to give you specific information. You know, I'm not going to tell you where I'm trading or what exchanges I use and that kind of stuff. So, you know, that part you got to figure out on your own. Okay, so scenario 1, I've got some notes here I'm looking at. I took some Litecoin and I moved it into stablecoin. And let's see, I'm trying to see the date here. I believe the date of this was in July. Okay, so a couple months ago I was looking ahead going, yeah, things are going to go down. I'm going to put my Litecoin into stable coins because it was at a pretty good price then. Okay, so I put some Litecoin into stable coins and I sat on it. And I gave myself the date of yesterday, October 6th, Sunday, to be the day that I have to complete some of these trades. I have other trades that are still going, but I told myself I want to complete these 3 trades that I'm going to tell you about by October 6th. And why October 6th? Well, that was my plan, and as I've said before, you've got to have a plan. You work your plan, you stick to your plan, and that's how it is. And I'll say more about my plan in a second. Okay, so I took some Litecoin and moved it into stable coins back in July. And then yesterday, the 6th, now on my slide it might say October 5th, only because I was making my slides on October 5th. And for whatever reason, this Keynote software kept changing my October 6th to 5th, and I just got tired of messing with it, so I'm going to leave it on. It says October 5th, but it was really the 6th, okay? So then, on October 6th, I took 87% of my stable coins from my original Litecoins, and I bought back the original amount of Litecoin, okay? That's nice, huh? You can buy something back at a lower, you know, with less money. And then I took the remaining 13%, because I took 87% and bought my Litecoin back. With the remaining 13%, I bought Omisego, because I believe Omisego will have a nice spike here in the future. And I followed Omisego for a while, and I'm pretty confident of the patterns that it has, and I'm willing to wait for those patterns to happen. And it shouldn't be too tough to double my money on this. And well, as I just told you, I used the 13% to buy this Omisego. So the Omisego really didn't cost me anything, because I had my original Litecoin, put that into stable coins, took 87% of my stable coins, bought the Litecoin back, and then as a bonus, I got a bunch of Omisego. So it didn't cost me anything. Now, if we look at what this 13% worth of Omisego did for my portfolio, well, look at this. It increased the number of Omisego I have 91%. So it increased the amount of Omisego by 91%. Didn't cost me a thing. Now, before this, so before I did this, my average cost on Omisego was $1.18. Something like that, yeah. And now my average cost is like 50 cents. So I was able to get enough Omisego that it chopped down my average cost per coin to 50 cents. That's pretty awesome, isn't it? So now, rather than thinking, oh boy, Omisego has to go over $1.18 to actually be making any money, now I'm thinking it only has to go over 50 cents, like 60. If it gets to 60 cents, now I'm like in the black, right? I'm making money. So that's awesome. So that's scenario one. And one of the reasons I'm showing you this is that this is very doable with cryptocurrencies. You take a crypto, when you think it's at a high, you sell it, put it into stable coins, you buy it back when it's cheaper. That's pretty simple, common sense stuff. Now, probably what most people would do is they would say, well, I had, just for an example, say, well, I had 10 Litecoin, I sold them, I put it into stable coins, and now I can buy back 12 or 13 Litecoin with that money. Isn't that great? Yeah, that'd be okay too. I'm okay with that. Sure, why not? But I'm not so interested in Litecoin. I have other goals, and one of my goals was to increase my Omisego, which worked out perfectly, just beautifully. Okay, so you don't always have to trade your original coin back into your original coin. You can get your original coin, the amount of your original coin back, whatever number you had, and then use your profit to buy something else. That's a pretty good strategy. Okay, now scenario number two, same thing. I had an amount of Litecoin, pushed it into stable coins, and then October 6th, although it says the 5th, October 6th, I bought my original Litecoin back with 87% of my stable coins. With the remaining 13%, I bought NEO, because NEO is something I've wanted to get more of, but I don't want to pay for it. That's just how I am. NEO's kind of an expensive coin. Well, not really an expensive coin, but you know what I mean. It's a little bit more than other coins, and I think it's going to really do well in the future, and I wanted more NEO, so I put my profit into NEO. Well, what did that do? That doubled the amount of NEO I had. I didn't have so many NEO to start out with, but I got a pretty good amount with this 13%. So I effectively doubled my NEO. That is awesome. So now my average cost before on NEO was like $6.32. Now my average cost on NEO dropped down to like $4.65. So, at its current price now, I'm like in the black because it's like 7 something, right? I mean, it has gone down a little bit since yesterday. But yeah, so it's all good for me. Now, my third scenario, and this is, one I've been talking about, Tezos, Omisego, NEO, every couple times a week, once a week, I'm giving a pricing to everyone saying, hey, 1 Bitcoin will buy, this many Bitcoin Cash, this many Litecoin, this many XRP. I've got a basket of cryptocurrencies I talk about. And the 3 that I've really been focusing on like an eagle is Tezos, Omisego, and NEO. Okay, so my third scenario here is NEO. I took some of my NEO, original NEO, moved it into stable coins. And you'll have to look at the date on that. I can't see, the file's like really small, and as you can tell, I'm kind of squinting. It's really bright where I am getting a big reflection off my screen. I cannot see the date on when I did this with NEO. I think it was like September 24th, but if the date is different on my slide, I apologize. For this one, the date on the slide is correct, probably the 24th of September. So I took my NEO, moved them into stable coins, and then I waited. And then the 6th, yesterday, I took my stable coins, and then I bought back as many NEO as I could. A little different than my first two scenarios. Well, how did that work out? Well, I increased my NEO by 23%. And this happened over what? How many days period? 13 days, I guess, if we count from September 24th to October 6th, about 13 days, is it? That's not bad, increasing your investment 23%. That's like 2 weeks, 23% in 2 weeks. Boy, I could do that like every 2 weeks, you know. That's awesome. That would snowball so fast if a person could replicate this over and over and over and over, which I hope to do. Okay, now the fourth scenario, which I've already talked about, I believe, back on the 24th or the 25th, I put a video out, and I talked about this, a friend of mine. Now, I wanted to do this trade myself. I was unable to. Now, if you look at some of these and you'll say, hey, wait, you couldn't do it the 24th, 25th. I think your NEO trade was the 24th or 25th. That's because I had an order, a stop limit order in, and it just triggered on that day. So that's how I was able to do that as far as putting it into the stable coins. Okay, back to Tezos. So this fourth example is my friend with Tezos. I really wanted to do this trade. I wasn't able to. I had to go to work and, you know, taking the train, all this stuff. Contacted my friend, said, man, you buy Tezos at 109, as many as you can. So he sold 500 Tezos at $1.09, turned it into $545 in stable coins. And then he said, well, when should I sell it? And I said, man, if it goes to 90, sell it. That'll be awesome. I think it'll go to 90. So he wakes up the next morning, it's like 89. So he jumps on his computer, sells these as fast as he can. So I can't actually see the number on the slide here, but I think he got 612. So he took his stable coins, bought back the Tezos, and got back 612 Tezos. That's fantastic. Just the next day. This was like within 18 hours or something. So on my last slide here, you can see this is not my friend, of course. My friend didn't want me to take his photo, but it's a photo of someone's friend looking very happy. Why? Because my friend's Tezos holdings went up 22% in just less than a day. Less than a day. So this was one I really wanted to do. And I think I had mentioned before, over the last maybe 2 months, there have been 6 golden opportunities to trade Tezos, as far as I'm concerned. Maybe someone would know about more, or they would say, no, you missed these other ones. I found 6 great opportunities. I took advantage of 4 of them. The 2 I didn't take advantage of, oh man, those were wonderful. The one I just mentioned with my friend here, that was a good one. There was even an even better one that happened. And, you know, I let greed get in the way. I was waiting for it to hit a certain price. I should have just said, nope, I'm good with this. Didn't do it, lost out on a huge, huge, huge opportunity. Hey, that's life, you know. And that was the last time I was greedy. I didn't think I was greedy, but I realized, oh, that was greed. That is not good. So one of the reasons I finished out my trades yesterday, these three trades, was I said to myself, don't be greedy. Not rule number 1, like now that's even like rule number 1 has stars next to it and it's circled on my piece of paper. Rule number 1, do not be greedy. Have a plan, you work your plan, and you stick to the plan. And my plan was to get out on the 6th. So I thought, oh man, probably cryptos are going to go lower. They haven't gone as low as I thought they would. And I thought, oh, if I just wait one day, if I just wait one day. And I said to myself, nope, don't be greedy. Stick to the plan, man. Stick to the plan. So I stuck to the plan. And I see this morning Bitcoin's down a little bit, around 7,900. I do see NEO is just a little bit cheaper. I think it's 5 cents cheaper than when it was when I bought it yesterday, or when I traded back into it. And let's see, Omise Go has actually gotten more expensive. The price has gone up. So looking at my plan, I did a good job. I did a good job. Now Litecoin is down, so I could have bought Litecoin back at a lower price, but it wasn't so low that it offset the amount of Omise Go and NEO that I bought. So I'm not going to get into that whole thing and second guess myself and say, man, if you would have waited just another half a day and woke up this morning and done this stuff, you know, you would have ended up with, you know, so many more hundreds of dollars. You could have bought your Litecoin back, you know, at so many hundreds of dollars less. Wouldn't that have been great? I don't know. I'm not going to sit and run the numbers. Like I said, I have a plan. I'm going to stick to my plan. I'm not going to be greedy. I'm extremely happy that I increased my Omise Go holdings by 91%. I increased my NEO holdings. I doubled them. And then on my separate NEO trade with my original NEO, I increased that 23%, I believe that was. Yeah, 23%. And I helped a good friend of mine increase his Tezos holding 22%. And took him less than a day. So that guy's like really happy, you know. There's nothing better than helping your friends out, and it turns out like that. You know, you tell them, hey, if I were you, man, I would do this, and they trust you enough and like you enough to do it, knowing that you might be wrong, and you know, they pull the trigger on it, and it works great. So yeah, that's what I wanted to tell everybody. So, you know, I know there's a lot of people on YouTube, you know, they talk about cryptos and give advice and this and that, and I don't look at any of those people as competition in any way. I just look at everybody and say, well, everyone has, you know, some good advice to give, and they're just doing what they think is right. And yeah, I just want to be, you know, one of those people that, you know, when you turn on my video and I say, hey, this is what I'm thinking, I think this is a good idea, I just want people to be able to say, yeah, that guy's usually, you know, he's on the mark. He knows what he's talking about, and he doesn't just talk about it, he actually does these trades, and he comes out and tells us how they worked out. Now, probably as you're watching this, you're going to go, yeah, this guy's Big Larry, he's only telling us about his good trades. What about the ones that didn't work? The ones that didn't work. And by didn't work, I'm guessing you're thinking the ones that stunk or I lost money on. I have not lost money on any trades yet. Not on any. I do have a few trades that are still, you know, I'm just waiting on certain numbers to be hit. If those numbers are not hit, I'm fine. Why? Well, if you've watched any of my previous videos, I've told you I don't sell a cryptocurrency unless there are certain conditions that are met. Like with my Litecoin trade, right? I got out of some of my Litecoin back in July. I was cool with that because I was looking at other cryptocurrencies. For a Litecoin, okay, I put it in a stable coin, lock the value in. Now, since I locked the value in, Litecoin did go up a little bit. So you could say, oh man, if you had waited, you could have got more. Well, yeah, and if I had put everything, turned my Litecoin into stable coins like in April or May, I could have gotten even more, but I didn't, right? That's the reality of it. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. I did what I did because I thought it was a good idea, and it's been working out pretty good. So anyway, a person could say that, but I put it in the stable coins. I'm happy I locked the value in. One of the things I was thinking about, I'll just tell you now, is I'm interested in Monero. Now, if you watch Monero and Litecoin have had kind of an interesting relationship the last 4 months. They tend to be around the same price. Now, for a while, Monero was up to $10 cheaper than Litecoin. There was a time when I thought, hey, I'll just take I put my Litecoin in the stable coins. I'll just buy back even more Monero. That was one scenario I was thinking about. I'd be happy with that. Another scenario, I was watching Digibyte and Theta. They've been down in price. So I thought, well, if Litecoin shoots up and I lost my opportunity to buy it back, I'm cool. I'll just stick it into Digibyte and Theta. I think Digibyte's going to do great in the future. Also, I thought Bitcoin Cash most likely will go down with the rest of the market. So I'd be okay putting my money into Bitcoin Cash because I know when that moves up, it's going to probably move up a lot more than Litecoin would have. And I was fine with that too. And I was also fine just hanging on to my stable coins and waiting until things get even cheaper. I don't think we've seen the lowest lows yet. I thought it would happen end of September. Okay, it stretched into October, and I gave myself until the 6th to work my plan. So I got out of everything, well, almost everything. I'm in a few things still, but a few trades still, but it could go lower. It could really, really go lower. I think it will. And if it doesn't now, probably, looking at past history, the market was pretty down in December a couple of years ago, right? Remember that? It was kind of down in December, and then at the end it shot up and Bitcoin went to 20,000. So we might have some kind of big market crash the end of the year. Who knows? So anyway, in my mind, we haven't hit the low that we should have. And yeah, so I think if it doesn't happen this month, it'll probably happen in a few months down the line, and which I'm so happy with, because now I'm thinking, okay, if we don't have the low that I thought, I'm going to wait for prices to go up. I'm going to do more things similar to what I told you about in this video. I'm going to take certain coins, put them into stable coins, and I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to wait for things to get really low, and then I'm going to swoop in and buy them at a super low price. And yeah, so to answer anyone's questions about what about the trades that didn't work for you, I've never had a trade that did not work, because like I said, I have a plan. I've got a 3-part plan, and I don't trade out of a coin until those 3 conditions are met. And now there's a lot of, I don't care who you are, you probably go, oh boy, if I would have just sold my Bitcoin, when it was 3 something, now it's down to 2 something. It's like, I forget what Bitcoin is today, but Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Cash. If I had sold my Bitcoin Cash when it was around 370 and then put it in stable coins and waited, and recently it was around 220, oh man, I could have made a killing. Well, yeah, you could have, but you just have to have the courage to make that trade, right? That's the tough thing. There are certain trades I wanted to do. I put them down on paper and said, I'm going to imagine I did this. So yeah, I imagined I changed some of my Bitcoin Cash into stable coins. And let's see, I could have gained, I did calculate it out. I could have gained 48%. I could have had a 48% return. I could have increased my number of Bitcoin Cash 48%. But are you willing to get out of your Bitcoin Cash? If you are, if you can do it and it works, boy, all my respect goes to you. So there are just some things I'm not able to do yet. Maybe in the future I'll be able to. As you get more and more coins built up in your portfolio, you're using less and less of your own money, right? It gets to a point where, like I said to you, a couple of my coins now, my average price per coin has really gone down. So what do you do when you're in a situation where, geez, my average cost for NEO is $1 or something, or OMG, I'm down to 20 cents, I've gotten so many free OMG, my cost per coin is 20 cents and now NEO's trading at $2. You know, so you wouldn't have to cash many out to get all your money back, right? So that's the kind of situation you want to be in. Anyway, I hope this video helps. I just wanted to, you know, let everybody know I'm not just coming on YouTube making videos, telling, you know, giving it recommendation as to, you know, if you did this, this could happen, or you could sell this coin at this price and buy it back at this price. Hey, look at these prices, you know. All the stuff I'm telling you, I just want you to know that I'm actually doing it. I'm not just making videos and talking out of my ass. I'm actually executing these things. And then, so I just wanted to share, you know, what I've done recently. As like I said in the beginning, I shared some of this with 3 different groups of people that I know. They were all surprised. Some were shocked. A few people said to me, you know, why are you doing the job you're doing now, man? You should be doing investing. You should be giving people advice. Well, I'm not quite there yet, but that may be something in the future. I don't know. Okay, you guys, I hope this was helpful. Stay tuned for future videos. I'm sure I will do more videos similar to this one, letting you know how things are going. And yeah, it's Monday for me, probably Sunday night for you guys if you're in the States. Hope everyone's doing well. I hope the weather is nice where you are. And spend time with your family, your loved ones, or your significant other, and take it easy. Have a cup of coffee on me. Take care.